Welcome to the Football Show this Wednesday evening. I'm Peter Martin, delighted to have your company. Alan Ruff is alongside me, as well as Barry Ferguson. Here's what we're going to be talking about. Yeah, just a few of the topics. We'll also discuss Celtic agreeing to take the allocation for the Old Firm game on December 29th, something like 750 tickets. They obviously have had assurances from Rangers Football Club on the safety of their fans, so they will take those tickets. We'll discuss that with Barry and Ruffy, and we'll also discuss Craig Levine, who's been charged by the SFA for his comment regarding playing against 12 men in the 2-1 defeat to Rangers at Tynecastle, and also his criticism of Bobby Madden, the referee. So that's all to come a little later in the programme, but first and foremost, the situation with Lee Griffiths is a worrying one. It's one that requires the support of his teammates, his manager, and of course the football community as a whole, and more importantly his family. He's got ongoing issues. This is how Brendan Rodgers summed it up today.
Lee will be taken out of football now for a little period of time. Lee's had ongoing issues now for a number of months. And he's done amazing to get through and to play to the level and score some of the goals that he has. But he's reached a point where it's a struggle for him. And now for us, we're going to give him all the professional help that he possibly needs to get himself into a good place again, to come back doing what he does best. But in order to do that, he needs to find a happiness. You know, he's a father of 5 children. He's a great guy, but football is and life is tough for him. So we want to help him with that, and so he'll be out of football for a period of time, and we'll let you know another time when he's back. I'm very close with him. We've got a strong relationship, and he's had a number of issues around outside of the football environment. So I think for us it's, and thankfully for him, nowadays the issues that can come across young players and young people in general, there's great support out there and professional support, and it's no longer a weakness now to talk. It's something there where we can help people. And that's something that we aim to do with him, and he's all our support as staff and these players and the supporters to help him get back to a good place.
So it's a sad situation, Ruffy, but the manager there highlighting the fact that it's not just one issue, it's a number of issues, and this is off the park, never mind what's gone on over the last couple of years, just trying to get himself fit with recurring injuries that have ruled him out of games on the park.
Yeah, well, we're not privy to the ongoing issues, so there's not a lot of clarity there, but obviously we can read between the lines. When he pulled out the Scotland squad, he said he wasn't fit enough, so he went away to get his injury sorted out, and then Brendan Rodgers said he was ill, which clouded maybe what was happening behind the scenes. He's since taken part in 3 games, so he doesn't seem to be the guy who you would think would be affected by the pressure of football. You know, he seems to take everything on board, so if it is something, you know, that as you described at the beginning there, then I think everybody needs to support him and get him back to where he was.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest with you, Barry, you know, in the games that he has come on, he looked off it. Yep. And you could tell maybe that this wasn't the Griffiths, the sharp, the guy with that wee bit of magic that he's displayed, especially last season as well.
Yep. No, I've got to agree with you. It's not been the Lee Griffiths that I've certainly watched over the past few seasons. With some of his performances and goals, not just for Celtic but for Scotland. And obviously the last 2 or 3 months there's been a lot of people having their opinion on him. what's been going on, and I'm just happy now that Celtic have come out and been honest that it's personal problems out with football, and thankfully he's going to go and seek professional help, and it's a start at least that they've been honest and open, and I'm sure not just Celtic players, staff, supporters, I'm sure, as you mentioned earlier on, the full football community, I'll be there to wish him all the best, and hopefully he comes out at the end, because a fit Lee Griffiths is a top striker for me.
Yeah, the other aspect of this, Ruffy, is this is a club now with, thin on the ground on strikers.
Yeah, definitely. We knew that right when Dembele left, and again, it was one of the things I think Brendan Rodgers was a bit upset about. We all talk about he never got McGinn, but I'm sure there must have been other players on that list that he wanted. A team like Celtic can't go through the season with two strikers. It's usually 3 or 4 that you have, and if you're playing in all competitions, which they are, so it'll be something they'll probably identify in January.
Okay. Couple of things we want to get your thoughts on, lads, before we get to the Europa League games as well taking place tomorrow. But Celtic will take, Ruffy, 750 tickets. Now, there's been all sorts of suggestions, whispers here and there that Rangers might actually put a net up, for the Celtic fans at that game at Ibrox. Unconfirmed, as I say, but nevertheless, they're going to take the tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad they've taken the tickets, but I'm sure the police will be on top of it. I know there's a lot of worries here and there, but I think the police, as I've said in numerous occasions at football games in Scotland, they seem to be on top of anything that's going to happen, and hopefully that will be the case. Let's hope it just goes smoothly, and we're talking about the football rather than the supporters.
Yep, okay. Big games for Celtic and Rangers tomorrow night in the Europa League. Celtic against RB Salzburg. And Filip Benkovic has been speaking today, and he reckons the fans can play the role as the 12th man and create a great atmosphere to fire them to glory.
Playing in front of these fans is, like I said many times, it's fantastic. And they give you power, they give you strength. They are all 90 minutes like on fire, and we can only enjoy in football in front of them. Yeah, for sure it will be important because when stadium is full, when stadium is, like crazy, it's very, very, very nice to play football.
Well, he's a player, and I think he's keen to stay until the end of the season if Leicester City allow this. You just wonder if Celtic are looking and thinking, I wonder if they can make a bid that might tempt Leicester City.
Yeah, I've been highly impressed with him, I've got to be honest with you. I didn't know much about him before Celtic signed him for Leicester, but over the last few months when Celtic have started to motor a bit in the league, he's been solid at the back, very composed on the ball, and I wouldn't be surprised if Celtic put in a decent bid to try and prize him away, because I think once he gets a season or two under his belt, he'll be worth a right few pound for Celtic.
Okay, it's RB Salzburg. This is not going to be easy, Ruffy, to be perfectly honest with you, for Celtic. It's going to take something equivalent to the Leipzig game again. I mean, I'm looking at their form here. They're unbeaten. 8, 9, I'm counting it back. They're unbeaten the entire season. There's nobody actually taking 3 points off them in the league domestically.
Well, fortunately, Celtic don't have to beat them. That's the biggest thing, and if you want to qualify for a tournament and all you need is a draw in your home patch, it can't get any better than that. You can control the game. They will go there, obviously, relaxed and try and get something out of the game. But I think the mentality of if Celtic were to go up in that game, I would think that the thought would be, right, we've qualified. We don't really push this any further. I'm not saying that will happen, but I think that would be a mentality for most teams. If you've already qualified and the game's not going your way, then you just take what you've got. But I think until Celtic score that goal, it'll be a very difficult game.
Okay, briefly, prediction?
I think Celtic, they need to go for them, for the word go. 60,000 fans in that stadium, I think Celtic will win the game.
Ruffy?
I think it'll be 1 each.
One each. Okay, there you have it. Points enough. We're going to focus on Rapid Vienna against Rangers. Not a great pitch. And over and above that, as well as Steven Gerrard and his selection problems, we will also look at Craig Levein. He's in trouble with the SFA, and we'll hear from Jurgen Klopp after his keeper saved the day. Two Scottish clubs hopefully will be involved in European action beyond Christmas. Rapid Vienna against Rangers is a huge game for Steven Gerrard's men. They are out there in Austria hoping that they can get the result they're looking for. It's of course a Rapid Vienna side that, you know, were dogged to say the least, Barry, at Ibrox.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe them. I don't think they're a top team, if I'm being honest. I think it is a winnable game. If this was 10 days ago, I would be highly confident to going into it, but obviously the last couple of results for Rangers, Aberdeen and Dundee, confidence well below. But I keep going on. I'll go back to it. I don't think they're a very good team. So they're a beatable team, and I think Rangers can go there and win the game.
And they need to win it, Ruffy.
Mm-hmm. Well, this whole group's all looking at each other, you know, to see what's going to happen on the night. They're all so close together. But again, it's a reverse of Celtic. If you're in their team, they've got home advantage. You know, they know what they have to do. I think that might go into Rangers' favour if they try and see out a game with what they've got. Rangers might just nick something, you know, and we know they can hold on to it because they've done it before. And again, they've got Alan McGregor, who in European football has been absolutely immense.
Yeah, our reporter Gabriel Antoniazzi looks ahead to the match.
Rangers arrive in Austria to play Rapid Vienna knowing exactly what they need to do. Win and they qualify, but if they fail to do so, they are out. Steven Gerrard's men started the Europa League as well as anyone could have imagined, making it through 3 qualification rounds, drawing away to group favourites Villarreal before beating Rapid 3-1 at Ibrox. Since then, though, the results have not been as good. 2 stalemates at home and a damaging 4-3 defeat to Spartak Moscow was sandwiched in between them. Rangers' form is also indifferent in the league, winning only 3 of their last 6 matches, and they will be without winger Daniel Candeias after he was sent off during the 0-0 draw with Villarreal 2 weeks ago. Rapid's form is poor as well, winning just 2 of their last 6 going into the game. They sit in 8th spot in the Austria Bundesliga, 25 points behind leaders Red Bull Salzburg, who of course play Celtic on Thursday. However, they are currently joint top of the group, with Villarreal on 7 points, a point ahead of Rangers in 3rd. When the teams met in October, Rapid took the lead before Rangers ran out 3-1 winners thanks to an Alfredo Morelos double. If the controversial Colombian could repeat that feat tonight, he could silence many doubters.
Yeah, it would be a tremendous one on Thursday with the early kick-off if Rangers can produce a winning performance. Certainly capable of it when you consider what they've been doing in this group. But the one thing I think is a real blow for them is they're not allowed to train on the pitch tonight because basically there's been heavy snow. So the pitch has been cleared. It's not in great condition, to be perfectly honest with you, Barry.
Yeah, you see it there, but look, I don't use that as an excuse, Peter. The 2 teams have got to play in that. I'm sure a lot of the players would have played in worse. But again, I go back to it. Rangers know what they need to do, and that's go and win a game. They can't go there and sit back. I would rather they went there and attacked them. As you just seen in the league table, they're not having a great season domestically. When I last seen them at Ibrox, I wasn't too impressed with them. So it's definitely a winnable game. I know you can look at the pitch and say, I've seen a lot better, but it's not the worst, let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't really like making excuses for any team, Ruffy, with regards to pitches. If you get good players,
Yep.
You can play in any pitch. The only problem will be Ryan Kent's out. He for me, at times, has got a trick.
Yeah, he looked as if he was a live wire in most of the games. Sometimes you get that kind of player that foreign opposition find difficult to play against because they don't really come up against the old traditional winger. And he will be missed if that's the way the manager's going to play the game. But Rangers have proved against Villarreal when they went away that they can score goals, and they scored goals in the last away game. Okay, they lost a few, but they are a team away from home that'll get goals.
Okay, are they going to win it? Are they going to go through?
Yeah, I'm going to maybe sway with Barry and say Rangers 2-1.
Yeah, well, nothing to fear, as I said. Not a great team.
Okay, right, that's fingers crossed for both Scottish sides in the Europa League. Let's get your thoughts, guys, on Craig Levein. He's been obviously handed a notice of complaint from the SFA for his comments that Hearts were playing against 10 men when they were defeated by Rangers at Tynecastle, and he said Bobby Madden was abysmal. So, I reckon there's a fine coming.
Yeah, I think he'll know there's a fine coming, and I think we've already discussed that it's something we need to cut out in the game is having a go at referees every time you don't get a decision that goes your way, because I mean there'll be other times when they will get decisions. So I know it's difficult for managers right after a game to sort of take a step back before they say anything, but it's got to be the same for everybody. It's not just Craig Levein. Any other manager that comes out and says that will be taken care of as well.
Yeah, interesting team news from Hearts when he was asked who's out of the game against Livingston on Friday. He said Theresa May. I didn't know there was a kind of a one-game rolling deal for her, but nevertheless, he's always good for a quote here and there, Craig, but maybe one of his quotes is going to land him in hot water. We're going to look back at last night's game. Aberdeen, Lewis Ferguson. Remember him? He's come up with another stunner.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. It's great. It's great seeing it. He's that's 4 goals this season. Another overhead kick, superb. So delighted for him. I just hope he can keep it going, but I'm sure he can. Since he's been up to Aberdeen, Derek McInnes has shown a lot of faith in him. He's been playing week in, week out, and now he's producing winners like that last night. So fantastic to see somebody in the family doing really well. Yeah,
never scores a mediocre goal, Ruffy.
No, I think he took everybody by surprise, apart from himself. He knew exactly what he was doing, but I think Livingston, I had a head count, I think there was 7 or 8 Livingston players in that 6-yard box, you know, obviously trying to defend for their lives, but he came up with something special, and sometimes when a player does that, there's nothing you can do about it, and to get it at the right time.
Yeah, are they heading in the right direction?
No, I think they've still got a wee bit to go yet. You know, to lose 2 goals to Livingston at home isn't what you would expect from a challenging team, but I'm sure Derek will take it. He was actually celebrating. I haven't seen him doing that before, running down the park. So I think he was a wee bit upset with some of the results that he had.
Yeah. One other little point that I wanted to get your thoughts on. Dundee have lost their appeal, the Nathan Ralph red card. Is that a good result in the end? The right result, never mind a good result?
No, I thought there was actually a covering player there, you know, and obviously, I mean, I don't know how these appeals work. You know, I mean, we're hearing it's 2-1 or it has to be unanimous or whatever. But I think he's a player that I'm sure Jim McIntyre wouldn't want to lose.
Yeah. Okay. Champions League football tonight as well. But last night, I decided to tune in to Liverpool against Napoli for obvious reasons. And Jurgen Klopp well happy with his goalkeeper at the end.
It was not only one save, we had a lot of things to do tonight. How cool when Kami was with the ball helps us a lot in our build-up situation. When he comes out for crosses, he's outstanding. And yes, that save was just incredible. But I really think that how the boys work together. If we don't defend the whole pitch like we defended today, Ali cannot make 20 saves like the last one. That he did it, incredible, unbelievable. Never saw something similar. But still he needs the other boys around. And that I don't forget it, because maybe nobody else, I want to say thank you, Enfield.
Yeah, it was a good atmosphere in the ground, but as you said, Ruffy, you can't have your keeper being man of the match. Jurgen Klopp said there, you know, it was rather worrying when he had to produce that save. Did you think it was a good save or just a wee bit of luck?
I thought it was an important save. It wasn't a great save. You know, Alan McGregor's been making great saves. That was an instinctive save, you know, he just spread himself and he was fortunate enough the ball came right at him. But you're right, you know, to make these saves, that's the kind of goalkeeper that wins you cups. It doesn't have to be a great save. If it's an important one, you'll take it.
Yeah, Liverpool could have been comfortable, Barry, because Sadio Mane had a couple of chances in the game as well. They had the chance to win it.
Yeah, but I love watching Liverpool. As you mentioned, Mane had a few chances. Salah's starting to get back into the form he showed last season, but they're a great team to watch, and Anfield looked as if it was rotten last night.
How are our tips for the Champions League looking? Ruffy, yours?
Atletico Bilbao.
You're Atletico.
Oh, sorry, I thought Madrid. Fortunately, not winning the group. We drawn nothing each last night. I would have preferred them winning the group, maybe getting an easier tie. But don't lose many goals.
Yeah.
Don't score a lot of goals either, but I'm still sticking with them.
Yeah, stick with them. Barry and I are delighted you're doing that. Briefly, Juventus.
Yeah, still I'll no change.
Yeah.
Still quality team.
I'm with you on that, Baz. We'll stick with Juventus. You might have your own idea of who you think is going to win the Champions League. There's lots more to come on the football show. Of course, we'll look in depth at more Europa League on tomorrow night's programme. Welcome to PLZ Soccer. Why not join the football family and download the PLZ app? You'll get all the latest Scottish football news and up-to-date news on English and world football. There's also a feature here where you can record yourself talking about your favourite team. If we use the video, you could feature on our football show. For all the latest news in Scottish football, download the PLZ Soccer app in the App Store and in Google Play. Come and join the football family on PLZ Soccer.